What I'm curious about is when we move more towards the depression end of the scale, and it's really hard to motivate a kid to do anything. And there's also there's the concern about self-destructiveness and so on. What's different about working with those kids and those kinds of families than these parents who are where anxiety, for example, is kind of feeding on itself, both the kids and the parents' anxiety?
Well, so of course, you can imagine if I'm going out to meet a kid who is feeling depressed, I'm not going to go out into the waiting room with all that energy and talk about my socks and that kind of stuff. But I am going to be as equally positive. I'm going to be hopeful. I'm going to set those expectations of action from the beginning. I'll give you an example of a kid that came in to see me. He's actually done with me now, but at the beginning of the school year, going into 8th grade, starting the school year of middle school, feeling very hopeless, very global, crying every morning before school, not wanting to get on the school bus, talking about not having any friends, not being able to connect with anybody. And so what I want to do very quickly with a kid like that is to focus on their social connections. Kids who are struggling in that way are motivated by social things, but also devastated by social things. It's a huge part of their experience. So with him, I started talking to him about the teachers that he liked. There actually was one teacher, his math teacher, who had been working really hard to try and pull this kid out of his shell. And they had this connection about Star Wars. The teacher wore a Star Wars teacher. This young boy had a Star Wars shirt. And so I gave him the homework assignment, is that I wanted to, and the teacher knew he was coming to see somebody, is that I wanted him to come up with 5 questions about Star Wars that he thought would stump this math teacher. So he had to go into school and he had to think about these questions. He had to generate these questions, got him out of his head a little bit, out of his global thinking, go into school. He did the assignment, comes back, had a nice connection with the teacher. It wasn't like he was cured after one session, but the ability for him to take action, to feel competent, to have a few good laughs, really sort of help get the ball rolling. Now, after that seemingly simple assignment, then I could say to him, now look, there are a lot of things in your thinking that are getting you into trouble. So now we're going to pay attention to how you think and speak globally. So we set up a game that every time he said a global statement, then his mom could find him, and every time his mom said a global statement, he could find her. So there were dollar bills going back and forth. But getting him to look in a playful way about the patterns that he had cognitively that were keeping him stuck. So I'm still going to be animated. I'm still going to have a smile on my face. I'm still going to normalize and do a lot of psychoeducation. I'm really going to focus on getting some momentum toward action and definitely momentum toward social connection with kids.